Well, joining us this morning is Mr. Troy Donovan from Donovan and Bauer Auto Group. Troy, good to see you this morning.
Morning, Luke. How are you doing?
I'm great. Yourself?
Back in the saddle. Another year passes, and we're back here again.
That's wonderful. Well, you should, you can come on more than once.
I don't want to break my trend.
That's right.
If I come at a different time of the year, I wouldn't really know what to talk about.
Oh, well, there's always something to talk about, and we can get into it a little bit here. But first, what's going on tonight? Big event.
We have our 13th annual trunk or treat at Donovan and Bauer Auto Group from 5:30 to 7. It's 13 years in the making. The weather forecast tonight looks awesome. Looked like we got 66 to 67 degrees, no precipitation.
Wow.
Now I feel like, Joe DiNardo, God rest his soul, out of Pittsburgh, giving you the weather forecast. But
You should join us for a football game. You could give us the weather during the pregame.
yeah, like Al Michaels.
That's right.
I might even sound more excited. Poor Al.
Yeah.
He's getting paid well. It's okay. Won't feel too bad for him.
Yeah, but I don't think he would give that up for maybe. Well, he's got a better schedule this year.
Doesn't
but
seem like he likes to be there, but he's there.
yeah, Thursday night. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways,
He's working tonight.
Yeah,
Al can't come to trunk or treat tonight.
Yeah, but you can come and join us Friday.
You can come dressed as Al Michaels tonight if you'd like.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's got to be awesome to see everybody dress up and just the kind of costumes. And
It's amazing. I mean, it's like 13 years of this. It kind of hits me a little bit more now because you figure, like, man, if somebody came to this thing when we first did the first one and they were 8 years old or 7 years old, they're 21 now.
Wow.
But maybe if they were really early, maybe they have kids of their own or something that they're bringing out like little babies. It's like, gosh, I'm that guy. I'm entering second generation of trunk or treaters possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got to be fun.
Hashtag I'm getting older. Still not that old.
Yeah. But you're keeping up with the lingo, so that's good.
Yeah. I feel like my teachers, I had your parents. There's so-and-so's parents in school.
Yeah. We had you at trunk or treat.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but it's the 13th annual one, 5:30 to 7, handing out all kinds of goodies and treats tonight for the kids, a lot of candy. It's a free event. It's a lighted event, safe event. We do take in non-perishable food donations and any monetary donations that are totally 100% given to the Titusville Area Food Bank.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we've been doing that for several years, almost probably, gosh, I don't know. I've lost track. We didn't do that initially. We just kind of did candy pass out, but then we kind of incorporated getting the Titusville Food Bank involved for the food donations. So it's a little way to give back, community action. That's a great thing. I think it helps them out a lot.
Well, and I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I guess there's a real need right now for food. So,
yeah, I mean, a lot of people in need out there with the cost of inflation and things. It's hard on a lot of families. So if we can try to alleviate some pressure, send people to bed with a, belly full of food, we're going to want to do that.
Yep.
So.
What makes tonight special, too, is it's a safe event. Everything's right on the lot between the two dealerships.
Yes. So we usually get the Hydetown Fire Department comes out, does a little traffic direction for us, and we are very appreciative of them and the efforts that they do.
And that was something you learned also from the beginning stages, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think when we did the first time we ever did this, one of our past employees, Mike Young, who's since retired, kind of had this idea where he lived. He's like, hey, this little church does this thing like trunk or treat. Maybe we didn't like do a big community event of any kind at the dealership. We kind of wanted to do something, and we didn't know how it would really go off. I mean, we advertised it just slightly, and then we were totally unprepared for it. I remember we had 2 shopping bags full of candy, and we thought, this would be sufficient enough. And then we didn't really have anybody to pass out candy. I mean, we just kind of had a free-for-all, and it was kind of a disaster the first year.
In a good way.
And then between everyone saying, we're never doing that again, and we're like, well, maybe we'll do it again because there was a heck of a turnout, and then I thought maybe people won't show back up. And then it kind of revolved, but it always revolved around Titusville's Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
We always had it the same time as Titusville's Trick or Treat. But since the last about 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, whenever it was, they kind of switched. Instead of doing Trick or Treat in Titusville on the last Thursday of the month, they said they want to do it on actually Halloween. So then that was the big thing, well, do we just follow what Titusville Trick or Treat does? But the problem with that is sometimes that can be on a Sunday, and we're not open on Sundays. So we've kind of just stuck. I think we got enough concrete evidence that it's a successful event to have on Thursday, the last Thursday in the month. So that's what we stuck with.
Yeah. And that happens to be tonight. So
yes, tonight. Tonight, 5:30 to 7. We're going to hope to see you guys out there. We want to see droves of you out there. We kicked up the candy supply slightly. So I had anticipation that it's going to be bigger. So I don't want to take any of this candy home. So come get it.
Come get it. And you got the trunks.
We got the trunks. We got the trucks. We got it all to display. And we have a lot of local volunteer help. So, I mean, we have some pageant queens from Pleasantville that are coming to help. So I'm very grateful for that kind of volunteer help. There's some kids that get some community service hours in for local church organizations and things like that to come and get some community hours logged. So it helps in a lot of ways, So I'm appreciative of those volunteers that come and help us out every year with us.
So it really is a big community event for you.
Oh, it is. And then our employees are involved too, so I can't leave them out. The employees have a lot of involvement. They come and, some of them are clocked out, not on company time, and they're sitting there donating their time, just like any other volunteers. So, so we get a lot of help in a lot of various ways, and we're definitely very appreciative of that. And I know the community is too, and the food bank definitely is as well. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, I know this is not the point of tonight, but I do want to get into if you drive past,
yes,
people see cars.
Right.
You have cars on the lot.
Yes, we have inventory, and then this is not an event to sell you a vehicle tonight, and then this is not a time to come and work look at a car and really work that deal. We want to do that someday with you. Tonight's a pretty awful night for it. We usually have service hours on Thursday evenings, and I told them just don't schedule stuff. I had a guy coming that's, from an auction, for picking up some of the wholesale used cars, and I was like, yeah, you can come, but you better get out of here by 5 o'clock because it's going to be a disaster.
Wow.
With people. So if you don't want to get caught up in it, we want to work a deal with you. We do have a lot of inventory at both stores right now, probably the most inventories that we've had in probably almost 4 years. So there's some incentives running, special APR rates. Stop out and see what one of us can do for you. We're more than happy to try to help you out at either dealership, that's for sure.
Yeah, and real quick, just talk about some of the things you have out there because, these are vehicles that people have been looking for.
Oh, yeah. We have the pickup trucks. We have SUVs. A long time, we had some pickup trucks, but not enough SUVs. We have tons of SUVs now. Ton of trucks. Some certain SUVs and certain trucks are hard to get. The heavy duties aren't exactly easy. Some of the big SUVs like Suburban, Tahoes, Yukons, Yukon XLs, those aren't particularly easy to get. So we're still on an ordering process for a lot of those cars and vehicles. But yeah, it's getting better in a lot of ways, and especially with the strike going on, hopefully that's going to be ending here soon, because that really hurts getting parts in to fix vehicles and the service department and the body shop. We've been sitting on adequate of new car inventory to sell to get us through this, but the parts is the hard thing. If we can't get parts, we can't fix cars. So hopefully it looks like, from what I'm reading, it looks like it's going to be hopefully coming to an end here soon. Hopefully they're making some headway there in negotiations. So out of my control.
Yeah, it is, but do you ever just go, oh, man, we finally got something going on this side, and now...
Yeah, that's life, though. It's the business world. Anything can change on a dime, so you got to be, we knew this contract was coming to an end. I've been through this before. A lot of other people, auto dealerships have been through this before. It's just, it's not the first time I've seen this. It's part of the landscape, and you got to be prepared for the unexpected, that things aren't always going to go the way that you anticipate. So
now, on the service and the collision side of things too, it's been obviously pretty busy, and we're coming into those winter months where you want to make sure everything's.
I almost smashed a buck on the way in this morning.
Oh,
yeah, and it would have been a sad one to hit. Let me tell you, because it was not a bad one. But luckily, he kind of went back into the woods instead right out in front of my pickup truck.
Well, it's probably a good thing. You should check tires, brakes, all that stuff.
The brakes worked well.
Good.
Yeah. And they wouldn't work too well if he would have kept going.
Well, but if your vehicle's questionable, maybe they should call and schedule an appointment for service.
Right. Yeah. It is getting to be that time of the year. People are hitting those deer, unfortunately. The winter season's not far around. So I want to make sure your vehicle service-wise ready for the winter months, and you also, if you happen to, get into an accident or a collision with one of those deer, we'll be trying to help you out as fast as possible. We are booked back a good bit, especially it's not the ability that we don't want to get cars fixed. But if you can't get parts to fix cars, you
Yep.
can't finish jobs. So it's really delaying the backlog a
Well,
bit. So be patient.
And that crew back there, they do a fantastic job, and they're really upfront with you. They'll tell you right away, like, "Hey, it's going to be probably this long," and
Yeah,
they're
we're
wonderful.
not going to try to come in and lie to you. So we want to be like upfront and tell you how long it's going to be. So if you can get it fixed somewhere else faster, we understand that. But we have a schedule to keep and can't squeeze stuff in, faster. And it's really hard for a lot of things. I mean, a lot of times businesses wreck a vehicle and they're really dependent on getting these things back into service. For what they do, say if it's an ambulance for a fire department,
Oh.
or something like that. I mean, things like that happen, and those, they don't have a spare one, or they can't go to the rental car company and get a ambulance. So it's a little difficult in a lot of ways with some of the situations, but we try to do our best. But yeah, Josh and Christy definitely help you in the body shop there to get you scheduled in. Of course, Dustin over at the Chrysler Garage in the service department, or Daryl and Callista over on the GM side service. They'll definitely get you helped out any way possible.
The experience. I was just thinking as you're saying that, the experience that they have is incredible, because you come in, you think, they're going to look at this and go, "I've never seen this before. This is, what did you do?" But no, they're very calm and cool, collective. Yep, okay,
Yeah, I mean, all the certain things aren't all the same. They're not cookie cutter. Certain
Right.
things are cookie cutter. I mean, sometimes like we saw a guy that got a little too close to fire and melted the bedside of his truck of some sort, and yeah, got it fixed back up. It's kind
Wow.
of it could have been real bad.
Yeah.
But luckily wasn't looked a little melted when it came in, but we got it. We took that and fixed her back up again.
See,
So.
there you go. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream Television and on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel. Troy Donovan with us here this morning. Donovan and Bauer Auto Group. They've got Trunk or Treat going on tonight, 13th annual Trunk or Treat. We're going to recap all of that for you here in just a moment as things get ready to kick off tonight at 5:30. But before we get to that, what are some questions that you hear? Obviously, there's a lot of talk, a lot of excitement in the car industry, electric and new models and all of this stuff. What sort of stories kind of grab your attention, or what do people that are coming in and talking to you? What kind of questions do they have?
Well, it's a very loaded landscape right now, especially a lot of questions coming in from customers. I can tell you this. I just got back yesterday from a meeting out in Las Vegas with Chevrolet. They have a plan for the future in a lot of different avenues. They're trying to make a car for everybody and a vehicle for everybody. I think every car manufacturer is trying to anticipate that. So, yes, there is a big push on electric. They're not going away from ICE vehicles, which, if you're not familiar with what ICE is, that's internal combustion engine. That's what most people drive nowadays. So, yes, they're still going to manufacture new models of internal combustion engines. They're not going away from that. They are also putting a big push onto different electric models. So, trying to make a car for everybody. But yeah, I mean, it's a very loaded landscape. I think right now with the area that we're in, with rural areas, is going to be a little bit more difficult of adaptation to electric. I think we have more hurdles to overcome in a lot of various ways versus maybe somebody that might live in a more metro market. A lot of people are worried about the range anxiety, having the ability to charge, having the charging capabilities in the public, having the charging capabilities in their homes. And it's a lot of loaded questions. So I have people coming in telling me straight in my face, I'll never own an electric car in a million years. And no matter maybe how many objections I might try to overcome with them on that, I probably may not have success telling them to buy an electric car, no matter what I do, or whoever that may be. Other people are a little more open, It's going to take a little time. It's also got affordability standpoint. It's got to be a case that somebody can afford one as well too. And I think that probably over everything might be the biggest hurdle. Not many people can always come in and afford a $60, $70, $80, $90, $100,000 electric vehicle. And then what's the capability of keeping those vehicles dependable secondhand as a pre-owned vehicle? And I think that's a worry. Because I'm saying, boy, if this costs me X amount of dollars to fix because the batteries aren't good in this electric car, then what's the value of maybe buying that? So it's going to be a next interesting decade. I think a lot of the people in the industry right now that I work with won't see what the end game is on it, whether it'll be totally successful or, in some people's minds, a complete flop. I don't know. I can tell you this: it's not going away. It's just like people said the internet came out, like, it's just, it's a thing, and no. All right, it's not going away. There's too much investment by car manufacturers, General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, or Stellantis, and all the import companies. They have invested too much money in this to just say, oh, if the government says they don't have to do it or something, that they're just going to walk away and not have to worry about doing it. We're talking billions upon billions of dollars invested by all of them, and they're just not going to say, it's going to be something we don't have to do now.
Well, people are so passionate about their cars, aren't they? Which is great.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're supporting a brand. You better be proud of your brand. You want to be proud with what you drive. I mean, no matter what it is, every day, it's almost kind of an imprint of you. These are where memories are created in our lives, are created in our vehicles. If you go out on a camping trip or a hunting expedition or a fishing trip or just going on a family gathering, and good times and bad, your vehicle's usually there with you. So it's also a part of us. It's kind of our fingerprint. So you got to be proud with what you drive.
Yeah. Do you see that from time to time? People get emotional when they're trading in their car for.
I have, yeah. I mean, I've especially people that maybe have kept their car for a long period of time. Usually, people that maybe have had a car for 10 years. Yeah. They name it, and and buy so and so, and I've had some people that the boys say had a lot of great memories in that car, and it was kind of crazy. It was like they had a concert that they hired Dirk Bentley to come in and perform for us at the end of our thing, and he still has his 1994 Chevy Silverado truck that he took. That was his dad's that he gave to him when he was trying to make his career in Nashville.
Oh, wow.
And he's kept it just like bad. He never restored it and make it all new. He's kept it just with a cracked exhaust and faded paint and everything else. But this guy's, he's like, he got more money to, he says, I got more money to probably buy any kind of new vehicle I want. He goes, but that's one, my favorite one to just drive around. And he calls it Old White because it's white, so even if you get big and famous, like I said, those cars still mean a lot to you in a lot of ways. So, yeah, it's a fun industry to be a part of. My probably biggest enjoyment of my job is driving around just in public and seeing a car that maybe we sold and someone's got a smile. So yeah, it's pretty rewarding.
Well, recapping tonight, big event tonight.
Right, we want to see you out there. 13th annual Trunk or Treat, the Donovan and Bauer Auto Group. It's between both dealerships. Like I said, parking wise, we try to utilize the tire store across the street at Big G. We're appreciative of them for allowing us to use their parking space for the event. So if you could park across there, just be careful with your children. Like I said, there is the fire department out there to kind of direct traffic, but all of the 13 years we haven't had anybody get hurt, and that's my number one concern is your safety of you and your loved ones and your family. We don't want to see anyone get injured, so just try to look out for your kids the best you can. And we're going to have traffic direction out there across the highway. So we hope to see you there. It's going to be a good time and great weather. So
it's going to be beautiful. Now, will adults partake and dress up? Do you see a couple of adults dress up?
I've seen anything and everything.
Okay.
I just, one time I remember a kid came dressed as me.
That's great.
Yeah. So he got lots of candy. But anyway, so I mean, the costumes always change. There's always different themes each year. It used to be Avenger movies were going on huge, or Harry Potter was huge. So over the years, stuff changes. I don't know if I'm going to see a lot of Barbies this year because the Barbie movie came out.
It's like the number one costume this Halloween season.
Yeah, so probably see.
No, Joe Vandervoort will be dressed as Barbie.
Yeah, we're going to put him right back in Southern California.
You'll have to go out and see it. All that.
So yeah, we're excited. I'm excited to see the kids. It's kind of good for me because I get to see a lot of other people my age, and they bring their kids. People I know, and that I don't get to see all the time. Because how life gets. So it's even if it's quick, like 4 or 5 seconds. How you doing? At least I get to see the face and say hi to someone I haven't seen in quite a while. So it always is good that way.
I can't believe it. 13th annual trunk or treat going on tonight out at Donovan and Bauer Auto Group. 5:30 is start time. Do you get people that start to wander in before that?
Oh yeah. But I will tell you this: there will not be any candy handed out till 5:30, and I am like Disney World with it. It is me. It means 5:30, not 5:15, not 5:20.
But they're excited, right?
Yeah, but you can come and get in line, and I'll say, "Hey, how you doing?" Yeah, we'll wait till 5:30, but it'll be coming. So,
it's like a mad rush to get there. That's gonna be great, though. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That's going on tonight, 5:30, 13th annual trunk or treat. Troy, great talking to you. Great catching up.
I appreciate it. Maybe I'll try to sneak in one of these other times and give you a little update. We can talk about Christmas or something.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Hey, good to see you. All the best of your family. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate having me.
Trunk or treat tonight, 13th annual trunk or treat at Donovan Bauer on the Hydetown Road in Titusville.